What's up guys, Professor Excalibur here, back again with the Dante one build for each ability guide. I've been pretty busy at work this week, so that's why I haven't had the time to upload this yet. So yeah, let's get into the builds. Enjoy the video. Okay, so this is my main Dante loadout. As you can see, I'm using a primary kit gun. We have 5 Tau Forge Topaz Archon shards with heat. We need those because we are going to use Arcane Hotshot on our main build. We are also using the Naramon Focus School, which you can easily change to Madurai if you prefer that. I am using Naramon because as of right now, that's the only school that I've unlocked the tower on strike for. We are using this Zidan Uskos, or however it is pronounced, Arcane, for even more hit damage. And by the way, it is, as you can see, this is for the duration of the mission, so yeah, no reason not to use it. We also have the Ceramic Dagger for the Ceramic Dagger Incarnon for the initial 20 combo passive, and also for the Gun and Blade passive. We have the Azimauser secondary, which this can easily be changed for the Tome if you want more strength. You know, you can use the Tome's alternate fire with the canticle modes for more strength when you cast your Noctua. And the companion, the primary companion that we are going to use is this Hound. So yeah, let me show you how everything works. So, like I said earlier, we have the 5 Topaz Archon shards. We also have Arcane Hotshot for more critical chance. We also have Arcane Impetus for. By the way, we are going to hit the maximum on Tears Arcane for the strength and ability efficiency. Our dog is going to take care of the Arcane Hotshot, don't worry, he's going to basically keep this permanently up. Same for the 13 status effects needed for the maximum Arcane Impetus. And as you can see, we have Archon Vitality, double dipping the hit damage. We have just the Umbral mods this time. We have Primed Flow for more energy, Preparation, which, by the way, I suggest you keep this on. You don't really have to use Prime Sure-Footed because, as you know, when Dante uses his Overguard, he's immune to knockdown and stuff like that, so I would advise you just keep Preparation here. Of course, we have Blind Rage and Transient Fortitude for the strength. Archon Continuity is here to negate the negative ability duration from Fleeting Expertise and Transient Fortitude. And alright, let me show you the Noctua build. We have the Lock Canticle for Fire Rate, Secondary Outburst for that secondary critical chance and critical damage, of course. That's why we are using the Ceramic Dagger Incarnon. With the setup that I'm going to show you, you are basically going to keep this Arcane almost maxed, not quite maxed, but almost. We have heat on it, of course, needed for everything in the build, from the Topaz shards to the Hotshot Arcane to the Archon Vitality. It's really important you put heat on your Noctua. We have Amalgam Barrel Diffusion. This is here basically, this is here over the, what's it called, the galvanized version, because you can put another Amalgam Barrel Diffusion on your secondary and it stacks. You get 120% dodge speed. We have Fire Rate, of course. I like to shoot the Noctua. I like it to beat pretty fast when I shoot it. Primed Expel Corpus, of course, for even more damage. We have critical damage, of course. We have a little bit of base damage. And I choose to put viral on this because viral is really good. So yeah, that's pretty much the Noctua build. Now let me show you the Hound build that's going to be pretty essential to our setup. We have reinforced bond for that 60% fire rate. Calculated redirection is here just for this mod to work. We have contagion bond, which is going to help with arcane impact, which is going to help spread the status effects for arcane impetus. That's why we have repo audit, manifold bond, coolant leak, spreading as much status effects as we can, link vitality for survivability, vacuum of course, and also synergized prospectus. This is going to be very, very important. You cannot get rid of this mod. This is basically going to upkeep your hotshot and impetus up. That's the Hound build. Let me show you the weapon. This is what we are using to spread the status effects. Last instinct for status duration. By the way, this ribbon over here can it doesn't matter if you have it or not. As you can see, it only affects a bit of status chance and critical chance, but you can pretty much change this for anything else that you want. So this is the Azima build that I run on most Dante builds. We have another build which I'm going to show you after I show you the main Dante build. As I mentioned earlier, Amalgam Barrel Diffusion is here because the dodge speed stacks. And these are basically mods which give you additional benefits for nothing, because we are not going to use this secondary weapon. I've already pretty much explained why I'm using these mods in my other guide videos. We are using Trig Mag for more ammo and secondary irradiate. I'm going to show you yet again on another build why we have this here. This is also pretty essential. This is the primary build. Now I would suggest you keep a primary kit gun, but on most builds you can change it. Like for this first Dante build that I'm showing you, it's not necessary to have a primary kit gun. As you can see, I have residual boils and primary debilitate, which isn't even maxed. But yeah, we are using this to arcane for two different builds, and that's why the primary kit gun is here. We are going to use a Theorem Arcane. That's why we have residual boils. And yeah, let me show you the full potential of this first build. This time I am not going to do any more missions because I'm trying to cut down on video time. Maybe people will finally watch the guides until the end this way. But yeah, let me show you the full potential of this first build. I'm going to first of all stack the tower on charge passive from the arcane by getting kills with my operator, and yeah, I'll cut and show you the maximum potential of the build in a little bit. Alright, so after stacking everything up, I'm back and ready to show you the extent of the Noctua build. We have the Topaz Archon Shard maxed. We also have the Arcane from the Tower on Strike maxed. We have an 11 combo multiplier, almost 12. This is as high as I can get it with the Riven. So yeah, let's also stack the Hotshot Arcane and see how much damage we are going to do. Let's let the dog stack Arcane Hotshot for us. And let's see how much. Okay, so with everything, let's see how much damage we are doing. Literally insta-killing everything. And not even at 13 stacks of Arcane Impetus. So yeah, as you can see, this build is pretty powerful. You can easily reach damage cap with this in a Fisher mission. Although I have another build that will let you reach damage cap much more easily. Okay, so now let me show you guys the wordwarden build, the build I used to give my teammates infinite negative damage. We are jumping straight into the wordwarden build, and I'll explain later why, but for now let me show you how this works. We have molt efficiency. We have a shit ton of ability duration. The most important thing you can put on your Dante for this build is ability duration. That's why continuity, augur message, constitution, and Nira's hatred are here. Same for molt efficiency. We have arcane pistolier for ammo efficiency, preparation and flow for energy, and the umbral mods and growing power for just a little bit of strength. We have subsumed Sata's Whisper over Dante's Noctua, and I'll explain why in a little bit. This is what you need to give your teammates the infinite negative damage cap. So secondary enervate, you need to stack this to like around 5k I think, but you can do it really fast with the build that I'm going to show you. That's why we have the Azima. We are stacking as much fire rate as possible, and of course you'll also need ammo maximum, so you don't run out of ammo. The ammo is not really a big problem, you know. You can also use ammo restore packs, but you'll find the ammo pretty often in missions. Fire rate. The rest is obsolete. You need secondary enervate again. Wordwarden is going to inherit this. We also have blast, because blast kinda turns wordwarden into a mini turret for your teammates and for yourself. Correction, I wouldn't really say for yourself, because with this build you must not attack the enemies at all, and I'll explain in a little bit why. But the mods on your Noctua are obsolete. It doesn't matter what you put here. You could literally have no mods at all and this would still work. It's just that you'll have to stack secondary enervate a lot higher. Also, for very important for this build to work, it doesn't matter what teammates you have. It doesn't matter what Warframe they are playing. They must have secondary enervate on their secondary weapon. If they don't, then this wordwarden trick will not work at all. So they could be shooting with their primary weapon and deal negative damage. They could be using melee. They could be using some Warframe abilities. For example, I think this works with Kullervo's chains. Don't really remember what that ability is called, for like a massive room nuke. But yeah, unless they have secondary enervate on their secondary weapon, this is not going to work. And yeah, basically they are going to deal damage cap with whatever weapon they have, but it's not really their damage cap. Like it's not really their weapons doing damage cap, if that makes any sense. It's the little book you give them the little warden book. You see, this is what's going to deal damage cap. So yeah, let me show you. First of all, we have to stack secondary enervate on our secondary weapon. Let's see, I have the wordwarden on. Let me turn it off. So we activate Sata's Whisper. We use our Azima to stack secondary enervate. You see how fast that stacks? We basically already have almost 5k. But yeah, let me show you the negative damage. And by the way, you have to attack the enemy like once, as you can see, and you are not going to do damage cap. But bam. And from this moment forward, when you deal the first hit with negative damage cap, your teammates are also going to deal negative damage cap with basically everything. Yeah, like I said earlier, it's not really their weapons that are doing damage cap, it's the little warden book that you can see besides my Dante. That's what's dealing damage cap. And since you used the first hit to trigger this whole interaction, you are going to basically have 5 hits where you can deal negative damage cap yourself, but then you lose the buff. So that's why I advise you not attack at all with Dante. If you are going to use this build for anything, Dante must not attack once he gives the team damage cap, once he gives the team wordwarden, because he's going to lose the buff. That's why we have a shit ton of duration, so you don't have to do anything else. As you can see, 95 seconds on wordwarden. Damage cap, damage cap, damage cap. Bam, we lost it. So that's how the build works. It's pretty fucking powerful. Hopefully D won't nerf this, although I have no idea. This has been in the game for forever. Alright, so now let me show you the Dark Verse build. So, for the Dark Verse build, we have Roar subsumed over Dante's Noctua. We have as much strength as possible. That's why we have Molt Augmented here. Arcane Truculence is needed to apply 10 stacks of Viral. You know, you'll deal even more damage this way. And the rest of the mods are basically the same as I explained earlier. Let me re-equip my Hound. Or actually, let's leave him out of this. Let me spawn some Grenier this time. So, this is how the build works. You do the roar.
Do the roar.
Then you spread Viral, and then, bam, everybody's dead. Okay, so now let me show you the Light Verse build. We have the usual mods that we have in the other builds, except this time we have Archon Continuity here for the corrosive effect, and Theorem Contagion. This is the build where residual boils really matters. That's, as I said earlier, that's why I have this kit gun. Also, that's why we need secondary irradiate. And for this build, you can use either one of these for your Noctua. It doesn't matter. I like to use the automatic blast one. Like I said earlier, it turns you basically into a turret. Let me unpause the enemy AI, spawn some Grenier, and you are going to roar, use light verse or final verse triumph to apply the arcane for max stacks of viral. Hold on, let me cast it once again so I don't die. We are going to cast wordwarden. We are also going to cast page flight. And as you can see, once we get the residual boils going, we'll have this weird aura around us. And the point of this light burst build is basically you just stand in one place and shoot. Nobody is going to be able to touch you. That's what you saw in my Dante Christmas video. I was standing and nobody was touching me. Let me show you once again. I have no idea why this happens. It definitely has something to do with the theorem arcane that we have on our Dante. As you can see, as soon as we get close, the shot fires. So that's why we stand in one place and just shoot. Oh, let me get some more energy. We cast wordwarden. We cast page flight. Literally nothing can touch us. Let me get close to show you the shot firing once again. So yeah, basically that's the point of the light verse build. You just stand in one place, cast your 2, cast wordwarden, and you'll be untouchable. Not that Dante isn't already, but I guess this is for people who are lazy and don't wanna move. Yeah, so now let me show you the page flight build. This is what I used to beat the Lich. I mean, as you saw, it beat the Lich for me. This is like a summoner build, I guess. We are using Summoner's Wrath and Theorem Infection because both of these affect the paragrims that you create using page flight. I don't even have this maxed out, and the birds still deal a crazy amount of damage. Not to mention the Hound also killing everything for you. Same with Roar. This works on page flight. It's going to buff your Hound also. We have Precision Intensify. We are trying to basically get as much strength for our paragrims as possible. Rest of the mods are the same. Even we have Arcane Truculence here because the viral damage is going to make your birds deal even more damage. I will not equip my Hound for this because I just want to show you how much damage the paragrims deal on their own. Like I said, this is like a Dante Summoner build, so the Hound also benefits from everything that I've listed. Hold on, let me pause the A so it's clear to view. Okay, so first of all, we want to create a zone to stand in. Okay, so the zone has been created, Roar is already cast. you summon the peregrines, as you can see they are already doing 4k damage. Now that I've applied viral, they are doing even more. As you saw over there, 35 damage, 35k damage. So yeah, this is basically the page flight build. My theory Marquine is not even maxed out, and you saw how much damage this does. Let me show you again. Okay, so a zone has been created, roar is cast. I mean, just let me recast it. Let's apply viral. Oh, they went in a different direction. But as you can see, they deal up to 35k damage when viral is applied. A neat little trick you can do is also apply your melee Karin. Okay, so now let me show you another Noctua damage cap build. It's basically the same as our main build, but you would subsume Sata's Whisper over Dark Verse here, and it's basically the same setup with secondary enervate. You are going to use this build again. You are going to stack secondary enervate to maximum once again, and then when you cast your Noctua, you are going to deal damage cap for 6 hits again. As you can see, I don't have Sata's Whisper subsumed over Darkverse. That's because, as you saw earlier, I already have it over Wordwarden, and I was basically too lazy to get another Dante. But yeah, if you wanna hit damage cap very easily with Noctua, that's what you do. You subsume Sata's Whisper over Darkverse, you stack secondary enervate with your weapon, and then just cast your Noctua, which by the way you also must have secondary enervate on your Noctua for this to trigger, and you'll do damage cap for 6 hits, which by the way, when you do this heavy attack with your secondary, with your Noctua, that counts as just 1 hit. So if you are patient enough, you can do the heavy attack on a group of enemies, hit damage cap on all of them, wait for the Noctua to charge its heavy attack. As you can see, the Noctua charges the heavy attack. The Noctua charges its heavy attack passively, and then basically go ahead and do a heavy attack on another group of enemies. Now for you may ask, where the hell are the Triumph and the Tragedy builds? And to be honest with you, I didn't want to make builds for those two. Not one, because I was too lazy to get a second Dante, as I said earlier with this build. But another reason is that Tragedy has its damage cap to 1 billion, so that's pretty lame. I don't really understand why D capped this when so many other abilities can easily hit the damage cap. But yeah, you are not going to deal more than 1 billion damage with this. You can look up you can basically search on YouTube for any Dante Final Verse builds, and they are basically going to show you Tragedy builds, so that's pretty easy to find. Also, that's why I didn't want to make a Final Verse build. And for Triumph, you basically for the Triumph part of Final Verse, you really can't do anything else besides using what was it called again? Besides using Arcane Truculence, and anyway, Triumph is already a pretty huge part of Dante's kit. You don't really need a particular build for this one. So yeah, this was my Dante 1 build for each ability video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's hope D doesn't fix the secondary enervate bug, because as I said earlier, this is not really a bug that is exclusive to Dante. It's just that wordwarden takes the current values from your arcanes and uses them for its fire. So yeah, it's not Dante that's bugged, it's the arcane. You shouldn't be able to stack arcane enervate this way, but yeah, once again guys, thanks for watching my video, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!